Hi everyone, it's Psychic Medium Jojo Empathic here. If you didn't know, I'm also a medical intuitive. So in this video, I want to talk about what is medical intuition and how can it bring value and be beneficial to our lives. So one of the first things that you want to understand when it comes to medical intuition is you want to release the myth that you don't have psychic or intuitive abilities, that maybe it's demonic or that only certain people are gifted or anointed to have intuitive intelligence. We all have it. So we tap into our intuitive intelligence through our right hemisphere of the brain, through our heart chakra, through our intention, okay? And that's it. You can tune your intuitive abilities, you can practice and train your intuitive abilities, and you should. The more awareness you have of your intuitive intelligence, the more you're able to use your abilities for your highest good. So when it comes to tapping into your medical intuitive ability, all you have to do is tap into your intuitive intelligence. When you do, in other words, this could look like intentionally tapping into your spirit, tapping into your higher mind, tapping into your heart space, tapping into God, tapping into the universe, your guides. When you're there, you have a higher perspective and you're in a higher level of consciousness. You're in your what I'd call your spiritual eyes. You can tap into your spiritual ears, your clear knowing, your clear sentience, your clear empathy. And when you're in these higher dimensions and higher levels of conscious thought, you're able to perceive from those dimensions. So I want to give an example of perceiving something that we may not see in the third dimension, but we know is there. And this is actually a problem for a lot of us, for any of us living in big cities or where there's a crowded population of people. If you've ever been to maybe a shopping mall and you looked at your Wi-Fi on your phone, and if you haven't ever did this, check this out. If you go into a mall and you look into the Wi-Fi area of your phone, you may see signals of Wi-Fi from the store all the way across the mall. If you go into a plaza and let's say you're having lunch somewhere at a sushi space and next door is a yoga studio and then a frozen yogurt place and then maybe physical therapy or chiropractor, you may, if you look at your Wi-Fi, you may see signals from stores and shops that are like two doors down or on the other side of the plaza. So what I'm saying is there are signals, there is energy that your phone is receiving from a distance. You don't see that with your physical eyes in the third dimension, but we know it's there. Your phone is picking up the signal. Your phone is like you're the technology. So your body has an energy field, such as which your phone does too, that picks up signals all day long, that interacts with energy all day long. Although you can't really see that with the physical eyes, within the third dimension. So when you're in the higher dimensions, you're able to kind of see these signals. You're able to see the energy, spirit. And this is how we tap into our medical intuitive abilities. We begin to see ourselves, our energy fields. We begin to sense our body, a presence that is here in the now within our body. We begin to sense the energy around us coming from our body and maybe coming from other places or people or things or the objects near us. So when we tap into our medical intuitive ability, we have a heightened awareness of energy. And when you get into this state, this is when you can properly, with discernment, which is super important for any intuitive ability that you're using, you can begin to read yourself. It's also a myth that you can't read yourself. Is it harder sometimes to maybe read yourself looking into the future? It can be, absolutely. For example, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. If I were to sit with another psychic, she may be able to just read that easily because maybe it's not, meant for me to know right now. Maybe it's meant for me to be very present. And so there can be that fine line of like reading yourself. It can be a bit more difficult. Another example would be I make a lot of mistakes. I've failed at things. I've, done things where people may question, is this girl really intuitive? Like, shouldn't she know this? Because it's my life. I'm not perfect. I'm human and I'm supposed to be this way. I'm supposed to not know everything. Okay. So that is true. It can be a little bit harder to read your own life in that sense. However, we have to have discernment that we can read our bodies. Now, if we are a Reiki practitioner or a medical intuitive, we may at times go to other mystics for this type of reading on ourselves. It can be a lot easier for someone to read me because I'm not seeing my shadow, and someone else may see it a lot easier than me, maybe in denial or rejecting the truth or just not being open and to receive or shine light on the areas of shadow in my life. So that's where it can be harder to read yourself. Otherwise, I want to make it very clear that we all have these abilities so that we can help ourselves, so that we can live a more empowered life, so that we can heal ourselves, so we can heal others, so we can connect with others energetically, so we can know what the heck's going on. So we're not meant to be here in this chronic state of confusion. So when we understand intuitive intelligence, we really break that myth. So when it comes to bringing it back home to our body, one of the best ways to tap into your medical intuitive abilities after you've tapped into these higher dimensions is to scan yourself. Give yourself a body scan, an intuitive body scan. Well, how do you do that? It's really easy. There's different techniques you can use. One would be just to bring your awareness to the top of your head, your crown chakra, and begin to bring your awareness down your body slowly, just observing, just allowing, just feeling present in your body. You may begin to notice pulling on one side of the body, pain on another. You might notice throbbing in a certain space. You may notice your eyes feel very tired. And you've been just so in the third dimension, you forgot to take care of your eyes or put a face mask on. But when you take the moment to get present and do a body scan, it reminds you, your eyes speak to you. Your eyes give you a symptom, which is the mediumship, which is the medical intuition. And so maybe we see I've got tired eyes right now. And I go down my body and my shoulders feel tense. Okay, maybe I've been holding a lot of stress in that area of my body and I keep scanning down. So once you give awareness to these areas of yourself, you begin to see the guidance of your divine being in essence, showing you the way to healing yourself, to bringing yourself more in balance and harmony. Another way you can scan yourself is to imagine like an X-ray of light or color. And you can shine this X-ray or light or color all the way down your body, just scanning like an X-ray, shining a light. And you might see spirit attachments. You might see spiritual parasites. You might see injury, illness, gray matter, black matter, purple matter, different colors, blobs of energy. In medical intuition, what does it look like? Just like that. There's symbology with how your body speaks to you. So you want to stay open if you've never done this before. You don't want to look for anything. You want to let your body, your spirit show you what it's trying to speak to you. So there's this whole presence and allowing state and being in a receiving state to medical intuition. Because if you remember what I was speaking about a little bit earlier, is about how we can get in the way through our ego or through being in denial, which is very common. We tend to live in a state of denial or delusion. We feed ourselves stories every day that may not just be true, tied to trauma, unhealed, unresolved wounds, emotional energy that's putting a lens on our truth, religious indoctrination putting a lens on our truth. So those are the things that get in the way, but more of the logical left brain gets in the way of seeing truth. So you want to put all of that aside. Now, as you're scanning with your X-ray, you might then see symbols like a star or a triangle. You might see shapes, objects. For example, when I see someone that may have, an incident where there was an abusive relationship with a spouse, and I look at their back, it looks like there's a knife in their back. And symbolically, I would say it looks like somebody stabbed you in the back energetically, and that knife is still sticking in there in your energy field. That wound, the emotion of betrayal is coming off as a symbol of I've been stabbed in the back. Okay. So this is how the mediumship, the medical intuition, our body speaks to us. And we can't perceive that just walking around in the third dimension with our logical eyes. You have to see this from a higher space, from a higher consciousness, from a knowing. When you're scanning down your body, you might see chains. This is common. Ropes, tethers, ties to other people, to past lives, places, things, traumas. And these ropes, these cords, these energy channels are really holding us back and blocking prosperity from flowing into our field, blocking us from being in a state of flow state and receptivity. Because everything that is for us and will be that's birthed into the physical is already in our field somewhere, ready and waiting to go through us and be birthed into the physical through our chakras. Symbolically, it's all mental, already there, waiting to be processed and birthed into the physical reality through your lower chakras. So sometimes we have these blockages like chains or tethers or ties or being stabbed in the back and holding the energy of betrayal in the heart. We may scan the body and see a lot of shame in the sacral chakra. The lower chakras tend to really hold a lot of the shame. Your lower chakras are more physical. So symbolically, the shame may be blocking your physical wealth, your stability, your creativity, your ability to feel pleasure is very common in this day. A lot of people can't feel pleasure. A lot of women struggle with this. It's a lower chakra block. So once we've scanned our body and we start to see all of these symbols and these messages, you can begin to interact. You can focus in and zoom in on one area of the body. Maybe you focus in on that shame in the sacral chakra. You begin to interact with it and you say, where did this come from? How did this get here? And you're still in this allowing receptive state, and you might get a vision or just a knowing. My 12th birthday, I stood up and I wore this outfit, and my whole family said this, that, and the other, and I felt an immense amount of shame from it. From that day forward, I was afraid to wear what I wanted to wear. I just covered myself and wore what was socially acceptable, and I always felt a sense of I'm not good enough, and what I want isn't good enough, and I can't have it. Symbolically blocking my sacral chakra, blocking my ability to receive wealth and give wealth, blocking my ability to really fully, truly express myself in my true essence. I can't experience pleasure now, blocking my relationships with love partners, you see? So you begin to interact with the symbols, the colors, the energy, and you begin to study on the side. What do these symbols mean? What do these colors mean when I see it clairvoyantly? What do these shapes mean? And you also begin to study, and you can ask your spirit guides or your spirit to actually give you these connections of the energetic patterns. So medical intuition is understanding the energetic patterns within you, around you, within your field that you're responsible for. And so you make these connections, and that's what the psychic ability does. It recognizes patterns and sees connections. Like I was saying about the shame relating to relationship blockages, relating to wealth blockages, relating to self-expression blockages. You see these patterns. And once you have this awareness, it's a beautiful thing. If you feel empowered, and that's another big part of medical intuition, is you have to be self-empowered because you see now that there's an energetic pattern that's just playing out. And if you're empowered, you understand you have a choice. So then maybe after you come back to the present space in the third dimension, knowing now what you know, that valuable information that you've gained from doing that meditation, from going higher, you can now make a choice and say, maybe I'm going to get a counselor. Maybe I'm going to get a therapist to help me with the amount of shame I'm holding. Maybe I'm going to write a letter of forgiveness to my family. And it doesn't necessarily have to mean I'm talking to them. So I feel like they won't receive it. but I'm going to heal this pain around the shame of that event. Maybe I'm going to do some inner child work and work and look at how I'm expressing myself due to that traumatic event. Maybe you're going to go get some Reiki and ask, a Reiki practitioner to help remove that energy. Maybe you're going to learn for yourself how to do energy work on yourself, which I love, and I love teaching, to remove that energy and make a choice that you're going to start giving yourself more self-love, and you're going to put it on your to-do list, maybe to go to a thrift store, go shopping, and get some clothes that actually feel like you. Get some clothes that help you to feel sexy and beautiful and expressive in your own skin. And you're going to prioritize making those baby steps towards being in your most authentic self. And that's how you heal energetic patterns that are causing disease. That's how you self-heal and you transform lower energy into higher energy. You don't let it hold you down. You choose not to be in that victim mindset. And you say, I'm going to do something about this. I know that I was young then and I perceived that as shame. They didn't mean to do that. I forgive them and I let that go. And I just recognize now as an adult that one event has stayed with me my entire life and is blocking my flow, my chi. Your dantian lives in the lower sacral chakra. Okay. When you get this moving and flowing, everything flows in your life. Your mental health improves, your wealth, your money, relationships, your ability to be sexually expressive and have pleasure, which is so important. Okay. So you begin to recognize these patterns, you do something about it, and you begin to actively transform the energy within you, which births the physical reality. And that's medical intuition simplified. You will find very deep-seated traumas as you scan your body, especially if you've never done something like this before and you're in a state of like imbalance or disease. You might get into the heart. The heart chakra tends to hold a lot of grief, resentment, hatred. We can allow ourselves to admit we feel that without shaming ourselves. Indoctrination will put it in the back of your mind to shame yourself for feeling these negative emotions, and we hide it and we repress it. What is hate block? When you have hatred in your heart or anywhere in your chakras, it's hard to love anything. It's hard to enjoy anything. It's hard to laugh. You feel like shit. You feel miserable when you have hate in your field. You don't want to do anything but sit in your misery. So what does that do in the physical body? The heart chakra is tied to your heart, your circulation throughout your body. Maybe not in Western medicine, but in Eastern medicine, circulation is a root cause. Imbalanced circulation is a root cause of a lot of illness. Your circulation is so important. The movement of your blood throughout your body is so important for your health and well-being and balance. Heart chakra also plays a role in the respiratory system, the immune system. So if we have a lot of hate here blocking, we can tend to have a lot of immune disorders and disease. Okay, so each chakra relates to different glands in your endocrine system, different organs, and it all is interconnected. And that's another part of medical intuition, is not only understanding these patterns and the interconnectedness of all of it, the energy, the emotional body, the mental body, and your physical body, how it's all interconnected. Just like your brain is helping your whole body function. It's like your feet are helping your whole body to move. Your ears are allowing you to hear, which may influence, let's say, reproductive system in ways, your lungs in ways. So everything is interconnected. And you begin to put these like puzzle pieces together. Now, medical intuition can go a lot further than just looking at your emotional state. And there's layers to you, like an onion. Your field is very layered. For the purpose of this video, I wanted to make a very short video to just kind of give you a brief understanding of how medical intuition works and make it practical so you can start doing this yourself. Because we can go deeper, like I was saying, and maybe when you're looking in your heart, you may notice or have an event or a trauma come up that shows you soul loss or soul fragmentation, which is major to heal and integrate if you're dealing with mental health imbalances. A lot of times we're deeply fragmented. We're deeply pulled in different directions. And this is not a congruency that keeps us balanced and in harmony. So again, my name is Jordan Johnson from jojoempathic.com. I'm a medical clairvoyant. I would love to give you a reading, energy healing. Most importantly, I'd love to teach you how to tap into your own intuitive intelligence and medical intuitive abilities so that you can live your best life and self-heal yourself. You can feel empowered to take the reins on your healing journey. That's my hope and wish and my mission for everybody. So if you'd like to book a reading with me, you can check out the links in the description box, and I'd love to work with you. Drop a comment if you have any questions, or if you'd like to, maybe leave some feedback on something you're going through so I can make another video and share how it's interconnected and help you to see that kind of higher consciousness in regards to what you're going through. Thank you.